Hang on a second. That's more like it. When you're a square peg surrounded by round holes, trying to fit in leads inevitably to depression and chronic sickness. If you can learn to carve out your own niche, however, you're able not only to avoid these pitfalls, you can begin to flourish as a unique expression of what you came here to embody. Am I finally getting the hang of this at 34? A teacher once remarked that my brain was sitting in a deck chair sipping lemonade. On reflection, this could have meant he just thought I was a lazy student, but I always took it to mean that school was a walk in the park for me. In middle school, we sat these standardised assessment tests, and even though there were 2 year groups ahead of me, I scored second highest in the entire school. The top kid was actually my next door neighbour. Must have been something in the tap water besides chlorine at Avon Drive. The head teacher started talking about setting more stimulating assignments for me. I just wanted to play Doom. So they sent me to something called grammar school, which even amongst the generally backwards UK education system, stood out as even more set in its ways and up its own arse. I had to concentrate for the first time in my short life to even hit average grades. I didn't like that much, so I excelled instead at 2 things I found easy: art and fucking about in class. So there are people who can bring themselves to approve of society as it stands. People who can hold themselves up to Babylon's quite frankly bizarre and unnatural standards of worthiness and say, yeah, I'm doing alright. The rest of us are the misfits and the dropouts, drug addicts, etc. We fill the prisons, the psychiatric wards, AA meetings, stuff like that. Actually, the vast majority of us are probably just hermits, watching back-to-back YouTube videos about how fucked up society is. Relax, you're among friends here. But if we can stay away from the lures of a conventional existence and of addiction, if we can find our own middle way, we get to sit up on the fringe somehow and start broadcasting our own unique frequency to others like ourselves. We get to become the glitch in the matrix. I am very fortunate to have met many others who are bold enough to live by their own moral code, even when it conflicts with the rules and regulations of the state. Without the influence of my new friends, I might never have found the courage to look as deeply within myself as I have, or to carve out a lifestyle that fits my new perspective on life. I say very fortunate, but this really has nothing to do with luck. When I look back at all the chance encounters, last-minute decisions to attend this meeting or that camping trip, I see that nothing was offered to me until I was ready for that next step. I see that letting go of the past, painful though it can be, creates the space for the new to enter our lives. That's not a platitude either. The more ruthless you can become in shedding dead weight, the lighter you will become, and you can watch as your reality reconfigures itself to reflect your new state of mind. Be careful what you wish for though. The red pill blue pill analogy in the Matrix is incomplete. It's not a one-time thing. You have to continually make that same choice to choose an often harsh reality over blissful ignorance. Chances are if you're watching videos like this, you've always known deep down that this world isn't what it seems. You might also know on some level that the simple fact you can see the problems others accept as just the way it is, means that you're one of the ones here to shake things up a bit. And the most refreshing part of this whole train of thought? The realisation that in order to do your part for the emancipation of humanity from millennia of mental slavery, all you have to do is discover your true identity and express it to the world as fearlessly as you dare. Sounds simple, right? But you've got to remember, we live in the Matrix. There is something operating in this plane of existence which is directly opposed to any of us discovering the truth about who and what we are. And this is where I have to stop talking before I get out of my depth. I'm still in the trenches myself, figuring out who I really am without the false identity grafted onto me at birth, and all the debris which has accumulated around that name in the past 34 years. If you're going through it, the shift, the awakening, whatever goofy name we choose to give it. Stick around because you don't have to go through it alone anymore. There are a host of teachers and guides right here on YouTube. You're probably watching some of them already. I won't name any names because the ones I watch, I was led to. You will find your own relevant to you. In closing, if you have a channel similar to mine, someone documenting the process as they are feeling their way out of the darkness, let me know down below, and I would love to take a look and hear your perspective. We are stronger together.